Welcome back. We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for this afternoon, His Excellency Ambassador Ayoub Mahmoud, Plenipotentiary Minister of Commerce. It's a very good afternoon to you, Mr. Ambassador.
Good afternoon
Thank
to
you very
you and
much, Your
to the viewers.
Excellency, for joining us. And let me start by asking you about the recent meeting that President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi held with both the Spanish Prime Minister as well as the Belgium official that was visiting Egypt. How do you see this latest development with regards to the diplomatic stance of Egypt on the Gaza war?
This clearly shows the dominant role and the important role and the vital role which is played by Egypt in the settlement of the crisis and aggression, or rather aggression, on Gaza. So leaders of the world are coming to Egypt to see and meet the President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to find a solution and a compromise or settlement for a situation which is deteriorating every day without the Egyptian intervention in this respect.
Right. Your Excellency, now you have seen, of course, and been following with us all the developments with regards to what has now been reached, which is the truce period that has been agreed upon and mediated by both Egypt and Qatar, as well as the US. How do you see this step? Do you see it as a positive development with regards to the humanitarian situation on the ground?
It is a very important, besides being positive, of course. Why? Because situation in this humanitarian situation on the ground is really miserable and unheard of during all this history of the colonialism and imperialism in the Middle East. What we have seen now is that Egypt is putting its effort to reach a settlement or reach a truce so that the Israelis can withdraw their forces and also the Palestinians can live as human beings in their own land. They need water, and Egypt supplies them with many things, including water, food, medicines, medication, and even the casualties. Some of them are being treated now, airlifted now to Egypt, so that they can receive the proper and humanitarian, decent assistance, which is needed, badly needed at this moment. So Egypt's role in this respect is very important and vital, especially to the Palestinians.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, Your Excellency, the issue of, getting aid across and aid delivery, whether it's food or water or medical supplies, etc. How do you see the development of aid entry into the Gaza Strip and Egypt's constant call for, the sustainability of the delivery of this aid? It's not just a matter of getting the convoys across, but the allowing of a sustainable delivery of humanitarian aid to the people in the Gaza Strip.
The password is sustainability of aid, because we supplied, Egypt almost supplied 80% of the assistance to Palestinians in Gaza, but if it is once and forget about it, no, it cannot be like that. It should be on a daily, if I can say, daily basis, so that the Palestinians can live as human beings in their own land. They are deprived of everything, of the power. Even if the power, they cut the power lines, the Israel cut the power lines for them. And everything was cut by the Palestinians, by the Israelis, and now Egypt is stepping in with, as I mentioned, 80% of the assistance to Palestine or Palestinians in Gaza is coming. So it is it's coming from Egypt. So it is a crucial role, important role, and vital role at this instance, which will be remembered by history for many years to come.
Absolutely. Now, Your Excellency, Egypt has also played another role with regards to the mediation for the release of prisoners, as well as the exchange of prisoners during this period of truce. How do you see the importance of this role as one of the main, roles being played by Egypt in the current period?
This is another important role which was played and is being played now by Egypt to reach a settlement or mediation or truce or whatever we call it, so that the Palestinians can find a breathing space so that they can live and can find food. And we have seen photos of families having their meals in between the rubble and destruction of their own homes. So Egypt, its role is vital in this respect, and thanks to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi that all these efforts have been reached and succeeded, and now we are on another stage that is truce should be continuous, not just for a couple of days or 3 or 4 days.
Yes.
It is very important that continuity of this assistance, continuity of the truce, so that they can give the Palestinians a chance to live as human beings in their own land and in their own territory.
Yes, indeed. Your Excellency, do you see, as you said, 3 or 4 day truce, could it be the start of a more lasting ceasefire, which has been the demand, really, of Egypt?
All the world, not only Egypt, it is Egypt and all the world are clamoring and asking for a continuing effort and a continuing truce or continuous to pave the way for a truce and a settlement and continued peace in Gaza. That is very important because it is not a matter of just 1 week or so when and then the skirmishes will begin again by the Israelis against the Palestinians. So it is crucial and important that Israel come to reason because at the end of the day, they will be defeated, by the way. At the end of the day, they have to pull back. But during this time, the humanitarian casualties and humanitarian cost is very high, both to attackers, the Israelis, and to Palestinians in Gaza. And that is why it is very important to ensure continuity of truce so that it reaches a settlement phase and the Palestinians can go back to their homes from the hospital in Egypt, go back to their own homes in Gaza.
Yes, absolutely. Finally, Your Excellency, let me ask you, Egypt has also done a lot with regards to receiving the injured Palestinians, people that need treatment, children, etc., and has had their medical and health facilities up to par with sufficient medicine, medical supplies, and medical personnel waiting to receive the injured. Do you see this truce, this current temp ceasefire, an opportunity to get more of the injured across to be assisted and treated in Egypt?
Egypt played a very important role, and the history will remember what Egypt has done for the sake of Palestinians in Gaza. When hundreds are coming to Egypt, or tens or hundreds are coming to Egypt for medication or for treatment, and then they are transported by air to the best hospitals in Egypt, it is very important and crucial, and the Palestinians should remember it all the time, and the Palestinians should be living in peace in their own land, thanks to Egyptian efforts in this respect, and also Israeli aggression should be stopped at all costs. All the world now is raising against the Israeli aggression, and that is why the efforts of Egypt in this respect are highly respected by all the other parties, that is all the other world, and even Latin America. They expelled the Israeli ambassadors in some other countries. They expelled the Israeli ambassadors in protest to what they have seen and what they have heard about aggression in Gaza. Egypt is playing a role, and this role must continue so that the Palestinians can live in peace in their own land.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Ambassador Ayoub Mahmoud, Plenipotentiary Minister of Commerce, thank you so much, sir, for your time and your insight and for joining us on this afternoon's edition of Cairo Local Time.